This is a game of a chess type game, embassy chess in ranking between myself, Atrotos, and Shaboo, a very good player and undefeated player until that time, as I was myself. I am still undefeated in that side. And embassy chess is a Capablanca random chess type game with some new pieces like that and that moves like a knight and a bishop, and that like a knight and a rook, and the other known pieces. So we start with d4. I am white. I'm white and Shaboo is black. So I start with d4. d4 is a fairly standard move for controlling the center. I play all the time this move. Or g3. It's the best move, I think, because, for example, e4 blocks the bishop, so I don't think this is a good move. The same happens with f4, blocks this bishop, so e4 and f4 blocks the bishop, so I don't like them. I like this move. Shaboo replied with d5, and then we have g3, c6, and I play here f4. That leaves this square, the g4 square, weak, and Shaboo tries to exploit that by playing h5. A good move, because now that square is weak for me, and I try to play quickly h3 to prevent the bishop to come here and give me some problems, but perhaps it was premature, I don't know. Shaboo plays knight h6, tries to give pressure, to put pressure to that square, and I play bishop e3. Strange move, but the plan was to take it to f2 here and give a good shelter to the king. Now Shaboo plays g6, and I play bishop g2, developing my bishop, and Shaboo plays a good move, knight d7, with a plan of f6, and then putting more pressure to g4 and also e4. A good move. I then reply with c3, and then knight f6. This is another good move, and I try to prevent Shaboo's knight going to e4, so I play knight d2, and then Shaboo plays knight f5 to go to knight d6, I guess, and put very much pressure on my e4 square, which is crucial because I don't have any pawns here to protect that square, so he can plant a knight there, and I'm not happy about that. But okay, I have calculated all that, I have seen all that it's not that important for me, because I can capture with this knight. That's why I put it here. Then game continues, bishop f2. I don't want to capture my bishop. It has a good view here. And now Shaboo plays knight to d6, another good move, and I reply with knight j3. Knight j3. I wanted to develop my knight, so that was the only square. I don't think that was a good square for the knight in this position, but what can you do? bg7, the game continued. bg7, e3, h6, and now a good move by me. Archbishop to a2. That piece is called Archbishop or Marshal or something. That doesn't matter at all. But what matters is that this move is good because if I don't play this move, d3 was a very dangerous square not to be defended, and Archbishop to e2 gives normal development also as protection to this critical square, because this Archbishop can come here and we have a pretty nice mate if I don't protect that square. So gives normal development, protects the square, and I can play now c4 to start an attack, and this piece here is very powerful to attack also. So then Shaboo played g6. At that moment I thought he goes for i5, which is bad for me, a very bad position. So I played a good move, knight to h2, to protect from the marching pawns i5, and I have also other options to move the knight to f3 and etc. Now Shaboo played a very good move, g5. He clearly can't wait my center to become too strong. I have all these pieces here and pawns, and my center becomes too strong, so he decided to stop that. And with his two knights and that pawn move, he tries to exploit my weaknesses, which is the e4 square and also the f4 square. It's a weakness of mine. So now I play knight h to f3, another really good move, I guess, because I try to capture his pawn with my knight or pawn. So he has to make a decision, and he has to capture or advance the pawn, and he advances the pawn with g4. And now I play knight g4 or g5, and he plays archbishop to j7, and that's his first inaccuracy. He did that because I guess he wanted to protect the pin of rook and bishop with my knight i6, but that is not necessary. He loses a good piece from the axiom, and he puts it in the edge of the board, which is very bad. I think, and it's obvious, that he could have not played that, and he could play the good move bishop to e5, and blacks will not be afraid of knight i6 because he has now rook to g8, a very good move, and after knight g7, rook to g7, and black is a little better now. Black has many targets here, and he owns the center, he owns the square. It's very critical, and black is better because if he opens that file, then the g file, my king will have many problems, and all his pieces, almost all his pieces, are developed, so I'm in trouble here. So better was, of course I wouldn't play that capture. Perhaps I will. I didn't analyze that because it didn't need to, because he played, sorry, he didn't play the bishop move. He played the archbishop move, which is a rather bad move, and I immediately tried to open the position because I don't have any time for anything else. Black is seriously in control after bishop e5, so I should attack first. I should attack first and play dynamic moves, not any other development moves. Black replied with bishop f5 right now, and I replied with c5, so now black isn't that in control of the square because I have also two knights and a bishop. So he played knight d e4, and we start a long series of captures. This knight, this bishop takes knight, bishop takes knight on e4, and after d e4, h captures g4, h captures g4, we have an interesting position where I can capture and win one pawn. But I didn't. Because I've seen that's not in my favor. That's a rather bad move for me because then black can give a check. I have to play this piece I called rook knight piece. Rook knight piece to d2, and then this, and I will have a good move here. This piece to h8, and now queen takes g4, g7 is not possible because of this move, a very powerful move, and now I'm lost. I have only that. He will play this, I will play that, the best move. Queen gives a check, and black is better. Black is better now. I'm in big troubles. I'm in big trouble, so that is not possible. Queen takes g7. So after that move, I have a pawn more, yeah, but black has also the weakness of a double pawn. He has this double pawn, but the position is two draws. It's a draw. It must end in the draw. So even if I have a small, tiny advantage, I still don't like it. So I didn't capture here, and I played f5, mainly to prevent also his f5 move, because that will lock my position and will prevent me from doing anything. It locks my position, so I played this in order to not he could not play f5. He can play f6 now, of course. He's of course will not play that, and also this move locks this piece to come here or here. Of course he can play this or this, but these were better moves, so I played f5. It's a better move than capturing here, which leads to a draw's position. So I play f5, and he replies with I've made a mistake, I guess. I played this, he played this, and now I play f5. Yeah, I don't capture here because the position is draws. I play f5, And now he replies with 8-7, this strange piece in f7, and now I have to play bishop g1 to plant it here. That's my point, with a good position for my bishop, but that will not happen because Shaboo had a good plan also of his own and played this to g5. I replied with queen to c2 in order to castle later, right now actually, and he played to f3. A very good move, I guess. Nice move. It gets advanced connected pawns, gives two connected advanced pawns to black. I have to capture now, obviously, and I choose to capture with archbishop, and he chooses to, correctly of course, to capture with e takes f3. My position here is relatively bad. This f3 pawn is killing me and my pieces are not developed at all. My rooks are sleeping, as my bishop does, and this, and my queen doesn't do much things. Look at the bishop. It's doing nothing. It's blocked by his own pawns. It can only go here, which is not the best square right now. But my opponent Shaboo lacks the development also. His pieces are not in the best positions and are not doing anything. 3 pieces undeveloped. Here is the deal. The f3 and g4 pawns. They are relatively isolated. If I'll be able to capture them, then game is over. If I capture that with some way, then game is over. But of course, this is not easy at all. On the contrary, if I concentrate my game on capturing them, then I will lose, as it happens with isolated pawns. If they become weak, I will win. If they survive, I will lose. But there are exceptions, and this game was one of them. These pawns became even stronger, but black still lost. So here white has only one chance: to attack to the king with help of the advanced c5 pawn and the e and d pawns. That's the disadvantage of the advanced f3 pawn of black, because it allows this pawn to move. Of course I don't move that right now. I play castle, but this is the disadvantage of that pawn, because it allows my pawn, this e pawn, to advance. So I immediately didn't waste time and castle long, although in embassy chess this long castle isn't just in words. It's just in words because in reality it's short castle. The other castle, the short castle, is the one that is really long, because the rook makes all this trip to go here. Anyway, Shaboo prepared to do the same, since its king will be in danger if I started pushing these pawns, and it will remain in the center. So of course castling short was suicidal with this open file. Of course he didn't play that, and he started to prepare for the castle. So I play here e4 because I wanted to waste no time to push these pawns for getting some attacking chances. So that's the only thing I can do. These pawns are killing me, the f3 g5 pawns, so I wanted to start an attack. And now Sabu castles also long sword anyway, and I play Rook d1. Rook d1 is a normal move to prepare d5. This move, yeah, of course I can do that now. It's black's turn. That will be devastating for black if I can play d5. So obviously Sabu played e6, a very good move. It just not only prevents d5 but attacks f5, and that is crucial. I will explain in my next move why it's crucial. And here I played f6, a very ingenious move. If black played, if I played something else like this, or bishop here or here, or this pawn takes that, then I will be in very serious danger of losing the game, because opening the e file, opening that file, is dead. It's death for me. I'm lost, since then a rook of Sabu will be planted on. He'll play here, here, or here, and it will be planted on e2, and black will prevail. So I wanted to keep the e file closed by all means, even if this means to lose a pawn. Playing f to e6 is bad. Is very bad, since queen e6 brings me too many problems to solve after Shaboo develops his rooks to d and e8, c2, rook c to d8, and rook j to e8, and then my position is crossing and I'm collapsing. Black will be a lot better, so I didn't want the e file to open at any cost, and the cost for that is that I gave a pawn. Unfortunately I have to give a pawn, and Sabu of course took it, because playing here will leave this pawn here, which is very strong pawn here, because it keeps black out of play. So Sabu took the pawn. So now I play bishop to e3. Sabu replied with a very clever move, rook j to g8, and that's a good move, very good move, because Sabu judged I7 pawn does not worth much to lose, and went for a very clever plan, eliminating my bishop for controlling the c1, this diagonal, which is crucial, since after this domination of mine of this diagonal ends, Sabu can play f5. Sabu's plan will become obvious later. Sabu can play f5 and then f4, and this will have devastating results for me. So Sabu's plan was ingenious. I had to capture this pawn. I couldn't resist, but that's of course not the real reason I captured that, because there was no other alternative, because black will play this move, bishop to g7 anyway, so I decided to win a pawn after all. But Sabu now is in a good shape. I won a free pawn, but wasn't in that good shape. Sabu can now play f5, f4, obviously not immediately, but he is good now. Of course I couldn't play bishop to j6, because that would be a very bad move for white. Now black will play f5 immediately, and f4 later, perhaps in the next move, and it's a loss for white, actually. So I played, of course, bishop takes bishop, and now Shaboo replied rook takes bishop. Now we continue with the 33 move, yes, which was, I think, let me see, I think I played yes here. Queen to d2, it's a good move. And here's my plan. I remember that plan, yeah. To give a decoy to Shaboo to play this move, archbishop to I8, preparing a trap on me. I wanted to give a decoy on Shaboo to prepare her trap on me. The trap is after this move. Queen g5 is, of course, suicidal, because black wins my queen immediately, pinning the king and the queen. Of course, I won't play that, but Shaboo knew that I won't play that, of course. It was a cheap trap that only beginners will fall, but people tend to like setting traps, so I was confident Shaboo will go for it. The decoy I was setting is that I will allow my king to go to a1 square. I will love to go there. Since then I could play b4 and then rook to b1 and start an attack. Was a good serve for an attack, so if I can have my king to go there with the tempo, it will be great. Queen d2 prepares also queen b4 with an attack, and protecting the c-pawn is also very important. So queen d2 was a good move, even if my opponent didn't go there and didn't fall on my trap. I would play queen b4. So queen d2 was a good move, threatening his rook and preparing b4. Shaboo played as bishop to I8. My plan worked. So now I play king to a1 to prevent this nasty tactic. And Shaboo replied queen to e7. Queen to e7, and now my king is on an a1. Black has to protect the rook by removing the queen away from the dangerous d5. Also, this queen was in danger. If I open this file, my rook and queen is very dangerous to the queen. So with one move he avoided the dangerous d-files and protects the rook. Now we have this move by me, and I started seeing different plans for me. I started seeing queen b4 and then this piece to c2, or queen a5 and b4, bishop, no, not bishop, this strength piece to b2. I started to see that kind of plans. Was attacking. I was attacking the g4 pawn also with that move, so his rook can go here or here, can go here or here. So it was a rather nice move, and I have many plans with that move to move to the second rank to c2. I was seeing that c2 move when I moved here. I was seeing that c2 move. That's crucial to be able to understand that this piece can easily attack the king in two moves: c2, b4, or a3. So it is here. How can attack the king? Not now, in the long run, to play it here. So he controls the center with protecting for and attacking g4, but he can attack the king also later on. Here Shaboo played a very good move, rook g to g8, removing the annoying threat of the queen. Other moves are dangerous for black, since d5, not now, since d5 is always an option, but not after this move. I can't really play d5 after this move because it's suicidal for me. I was waiting other moves like f5, but Shaboo played wiser and played this move, which is a good move. And now I play an also good move, rook to from J to E1. Very good move. Abandoning a pawn. Now my queen, the queen can capture this pawn, Shaboo's queen, but it is a useless pawn. I could give it for free. The plan now for me is clear: to push the d pawn. I have to push that pawn with all cost, because if I can't manage to do that, I have no other goal in this game. I can't win this game. I will lose. I have to push that pawn. By all means. Not now, but I will play accordingly to do that, to be able to do that. My opponent helped a bit, I guess. So, not now. He played an also good move. Correctly protects the d5 square, and he's now strong in the d file also. I now play another really nice move, queen to b4. Now the plan for me is clear: build an attack to the king. Even if I can really play d5, if the king is in a relatively bad position because he's isolated, of course only my queen attacks him, but after opening the position with d5, even if I lose these two pawns, his position, because I have this advance also, is in a bit of danger. So almost everything for me are set up to attack the king. Almost. What was missing was the bad move of Shaboo. He played terrific until now. No mistakes, no real mistakes, only some small inaccuracies. But now he played f5. Shaboo's first mistake of the game. The good move here was queen to c7. Will bring valuable defense on the king in the upcoming attack. I have an attack, obviously. While f7 looks to be a sensible move. f5 will look to be a sensible move, attacking at the right time the center. It's not the right time. It's not the right time because I have the following reply: d5, the move I want to play. And now black can't really capture. Because then his queen is threatened with a discovered threat. And now this pawn is huge. Of course, capturing with that is even worse. I then have that move or that move. He can't capture. Of course, that move's better. He can't capture because his queen will capture also. He can't capture with the rook because I will win the rook. He can capture me with that pawn. So I will have two huge pawns here. and he will lose. So he can't capture. So he can capture that pawn. So he played. I don't remember. Yes, he must have played that. Let me see. Yes, of course he played that. And now I play d6. A huge pawn here, a huge pawn here. It's very strong pawn to have here. And he now have played queen takes j2. This removes the queen from the defense of the king, but he didn't have any other choices. Other moves are no better. For example, queen g5. This move I was talking before. This piece to c2, a very strong move, a very good move, and now he's lost because, for example, e3. This now he has to protect his king. This pawn is weak. This pawn is weak because I have many good checks to give, and it will be a matting net. So if he, for example, plays here, rook to d7 to defend, I have queen to a5, a very good move, and now the game's over. For example, b5. Then I have a star move, queen b6 check, and amazing move. And he can't play a to b6 because then I have forced mate. a6, b7, and it's a forced mate. He can do nothing at all. For example, here he can play a6, then I have c7, king a5. Here all forced move for black, and for white. And this is a mate which is very pretty, with just one piece and all forced move for black. But if, for example, doesn't play a6 and he plays a8, king a8, then I have yes, such an easy match. e6, capture that. Now he has only two moves. It doesn't really matter what move it will choose, because, for example, this move I play here, and now he has only one move. I take this. You can only go here or here, but here we have the previous mate. For example, let's take it here. Doesn't matter because it's a mat anyway where he goes. And now I can play this move. You can go here or here, doesn't matter. And now this decides the game. It's over. So let's get back to the original position where black doesn't capture the queen because this will bring that kind of mate. So let's play king a8, and now after queen takes c6 check, rook has to go here, and after rook e3 the game is over. So other moves are not better, and that move was the best. The best, perhaps. It doesn't matter since this lose also, but it was a sensible move. I play now this move, which is, as I've said, very good move that creates a crashing attack. Now Black didn't play correctly. He went for e3. That is loss, clear loss. Other moves can really help black either, although rook to d7 but much more resistance. For example, let's see other moves first. Let's see, for example, this to f5. Now this to e3, a3, rook to g7, for example, and now queen a5, threatening mat here, not immediate but a loss. Threatening mat here is crucial, since now, for example, a6, now queen takes a6, b takes queen, and that is again a mate almost the same as before. For example, and now the king has to go here, and now that the king has to go here. Yes, we have some good checks to give. Now king b8 is made by let's see, c6 works, I guess. c6, and now black can do nothing but to capture with that, because yeah, we have a nice match otherwise. So if you capture with that, I can play here. Now the king has only one move, and then I can play here, capture the archbishop, and now white is losing, black is losing, because obviously not that, this is a mate, but he can play here, but it's the same, it's exactly the same, because I can force him again, etc. So that move doesn't work. Let's see that move if it works. Obviously it doesn't, because again we have almost the same position, and black loses again. So rook g7 doesn't work. We have, I think, here he has a good defense, not capturing but playing c7, yeah, and now we have a good mate. Let me think. Yeah, we can play here, he can go again to c8, and now a good move, c7, and now after rook d takes rook d6, we can play knight to a7, king to d7, and now checkmate, white wins. Yes, it's a pretty mate. So rook to g7, the original move here, doesn't work. Let's try rook to d7. Rook to d7, perhaps it's better. Well, it's not better, because again queen a5, and now again we have the same as before, this startling move, amazing move, and now if he captures, then I have a match. So b5 is not an option. He can play a6, but again after queen a6, this is my black can do nothing to handle that. For example, this is a mat in 2, because now it's a mate, After that move, white can do that. Doesn't matter here or here. He will go here anyway. And again, it's a clear loss for white. Well, I didn't. We can play now here, and it's over. So e rook to d7 doesn't work either. Nothing works. So this move that came all this analysis doesn't work. What about rook to g7? Then this, and now we have again almost the same position, and nothing works. So, and now he can play, for example, here. I can play here, and again we have, as before, e6, queen takes e6, etc. So he can try this also, but the result is the same. For example, this also loses. I can play here, 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 and now he can do nothing about that. This is a mate, and I go here, so he should play here. But now this is another type of mate. He can only go here, and I can only go here, and he can do nothing to prevent this. So rook to g7 doesn't work either. The best try is rook to d7. That's very complicated, because after this piece to a3, rook to g7 doesn't work. We have queen to a5, and now b6 or e6, a6 doesn't work, since then queen captures and we have the same result as before. b6, queen takes b6, it's crucial, white wins. So he can try b5, and now queen b6, king to a8, queen c6, rook b7, cb5, and now after queen d8 we have a good move, d7, very good move. I think I have covered everything. Yes, d7 is a good move, because for example rook g to d7, and now queen b takes b7, rook takes queen, and no, not that it's a mate, obviously good. So that can work either. King a8 can work. So let's try this. This is also losing, of course, since now this powerful piece comes into play and dominates this position. It's an amazing piece. It can do very incredible things. Now we play rook e3, and black can do nothing about that. For example, before, to prevent rook e3, but now that captures this. Rook b7 to create a shelter, and now rook e3, king b8, and this is over. This is a very powerful piece. So again, Black loses, but he can play something much better than rook to g7. Not rook to g7, but queen back to d8. Queen is more good defensively, but now white has a good move also. Rook takes e4, and now we have some multiple plans for black's defense. For example, this. But after queen a4, a5, queen a6 doesn't work because of rook before a5, and now rook b4 wins. Black of course can't capture that, it's a mate. So he can also play here. This lose also, because if I play here, we have a mate in for white. White has a crashing attack. For example, here, and it's impossible to defend. So he can capture, and he's lost anyway. So white should not play that move, and he can try this move. For example, a5 immediately, a direct a5, and then if he plays that, we have the same, obviously. So he can try rook to g5 instead. Rook to g5 has this to c4, and now he has to play rook f7, and after rook takes e6, white has the edge. Is much better. Black has too many weaknesses and can do nothing, so white will probably win. Should win, obviously. He can try, of course, not rook g5 but e5, but then simply rook takes e5 is also good for white, and again black has many weaknesses and he will lose. So that a5 doesn't work either. Let's play first rook to g7, 5, and white has again c4, immediate c4. That is winning for him. So black can do nothing at all to defend this position. It's a very difficult position to defend. We have strong and active rooks of white, a queen, and this piece, knight rook piece, that threatens the king directly. They are too close on him, and these powerful pawns protecting each other and creating a cramped position for black here. Many weaknesses. This out of play, almost out of play. It directs a neat mat c2 and mate for black, but of course I defend all the time with this piece. So black can do nothing to prevent white from winning. So even that good defense of rook d7 doesn't do much things. Black still loses. Shaboo didn't play rook to d7, which is the most resilient defense. It's the most good defense. He played an e3, which loses on the spot, because after the good move, this piece to a3, black can do nothing to defend, as we've seen before. For example, the game continued rook to d7, queen to a5, a6, I take a6, my queen takes 6, b takes a6, check, king b7, check again on via b6, only choice, and I take his rook. And as we've said, my point here is that I have to give a mate, a forced mate, because black has the powerful move. For example, if white plays here and I make a non-forced move for black, for example here, in order to go here and mate him, he will mate me, because now c2 is undefended. So I have to keep that in mind always. c2 is undefended for me right now, so I have to keep things forced for black, and that move isn't forced, so black will mate me with that. Of course I won't allow that, and I played that move, and now I will not play that. I will play this move again. I want to defend c2, don't forget that. So black will play here, I will play here again, check are forced for black, and wherever he moves, I go simply to b4 check and protect this c2 square from the archbishop to give me mate. If he goes here, he has two sides to choose, left or right. If he goes right, I have a mate, a forced mate. Going here, he has only one move, mate. If he goes on the right side, doesn't matter where, I play here, and now I can play that because he can play here, because I will capture him. So he doesn't have anything useful at all. He will lose. I will bring my rook to a3 and he loses, for example, queen. It doesn't matter. So it's a really simple procedure to win with this powerful piece that owns the king, with just a simple check here and again a check here, covering the square, etc. So we are on that position right now. The game hasn't ended yet, but it will. Shaboo will lose. So that was my analysis on that game.